Okay, let's take a look at shuffle number 2. The left hand accompaniment should be very familiar by now. So the task at hand is the right hand. Let's block it out. So I think this position is going to be good. We have some grace notes in that first measure, and we've talked about that. You have an option to slide, so maybe sliding on 4. In this case, I prefer going 3 to 4. I feel like it stabilizes my hand position. Sometimes that's a good thing. At least it seems to be that way for me in this case. But also try it with the slide. And let's go on to measure 2. We're still going to be on that E flat at the beginning of the measure. Just pivot down. So and then we come back to this position and measure 3, and we have to come up here. Now I just left the grace notes out to kind of get the position. I think that's the easiest way to play it. So let's start with so that's without the grace notes. That's a good way to block it out. Now, with the grace notes, you might as well just play the grace notes with the intended notes. And you can... That actually sounds pretty good, doesn't it? 1. I've indicated that you release the F sharp going to G and the D sharp going to E. That's how it should sound. Start by playing them all together and then releasing the lower grace note. And again, I'm going 2-3 when going F sharp to G, and 2-3 when I go D sharp to E. I suppose you could slide. Try it both ways and find out what feels better for you. Measure 5. I really prefer to slide that D sharp to E here. Maybe put the grace note on all of the E's. That sounds kind of cool. That's easy if you're in this position. In measure 6, that's a good place to be. And just play the grace notes with the intended notes all together at first. And then you can release the D. That's your next position. So if we were to block that out, and in measure 7, I think you'll be on your index finger on the C, and I see that as the easy way. Measure 8. Let's switch to this position. and then pivot down to this position to get you into measure 9. Measure 10. You've got an octave. You've been in this position before, and this should feel familiar too, the A to C. By now, hopefully you're getting the hang of these grace notes that make the piano sound like a blues guitar with bending notes. Measure 12. Leave the grace notes out the first few times. Then put them in all at once. And then see if you can get the bend sound. Don't fuss over it too much. It actually sounds good to play them all at once. It's just a subtle difference. Either way, you'll be in the right position. And again, I'm going F sharp to G. 2, 3, not sliding. D sharp to E, not sliding. Let's see what it would be like to slide. That might work better for you. Measure 14 is not a grace note. It's more lined up with the triplet. And I think this is a good position to be in. You could go G flat to F. You could also go G flat. You can go G flat to F with 2, 1. You can also go G flat to F by just playing your second finger on both. That's going to give you more motion in the forearm, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe that drives the feel a little more. And you can do the same thing. 2, 1. I think it's a good idea to use some forearm on every one of the triplets. As if you're playing a mallet instrument. You'll really feel that. You'll feel every triplet that way. I think one of the things that really informs us with these shuffle excerpts is how animated we can be and how the beat just comes alive for us. It's a physical reality for us. So bigger movement can help get that feeling inside of you. If you always make it small, you might not really feel it. So let's block out the positions. And the last one. And I just go 1, 2, 1, just reach over. So Make sure to listen to the example track with bass and drums. I think that will inspire you and give you the feeling, get you inside the groove. You'd be surprised at what that can do for you. I hope going through it meticulously helped you with maybe some of the spots that gave you trouble. Okay, we're going to finish out Unit 3 by learning Black Orpheus by ear in the keys of C minor, E flat minor, and F sharp minor. We're going to use the YouTube recordings I've provided, and the process will be very much like the one you went through when you learned what is this thing called love in 3 keys. And how are you feeling about that now? Did it surprise you? Did you try playing what is this thing called love, roots, and melody in some other keys other than the ones that I asked you to work on? I hope so. I think you would have been pleasantly surprised. Maybe they didn't come to you right away, but maybe surprisingly quickly. Go back and think about what that was like. The very first key you worked on, you had to take lots of time. You had to be willing to go very slowly. Anything that we do, like for the first time, just takes longer. So be ready for that with Black Orpheus. If you just go slow at first and be thorough and careful and focused, you'll be surprised at how the pace starts to quicken. So let's stop talking about it and just get into it. You won't believe it once you get going. It's so cool. All right, so here we are at YouTube. Let's just play. Our first key is C minor. I've got the chord melody and roots. Don't think that's the way to start. Let's go chord roots first. Da, dee, do, da. I'm guessing the first note's a C. Okay, yeah, there it is. And again, it looks like I'm cheating. Probably I am, because I've played this tune, been playing it for a while. But if it goes more slowly for you, if you need to kind of, take your time with this, do it. It's not a contest. Who are you competing with? Nobody. This is about changing your experience while you play and hearing more and understanding more. Take the time you need. Let's go to half speed. Ooh, that sounds like I didn't get back to the beginning. Here we go. Okay. All right, I'm on my way. You will be too. Now, Black Orpheus, the tune is less repetitive. That's why I gave it to you second. I think there's noticeable repetition in what is this thing called love, and I thought that might be a better way to start. This one, it's a little less repetitious, but spend some time with the roots, get them in your ear. When you're working with the roots, at some point it really helps to hear them quickly, because you start to organize them by hearing them. You start to hear 4-bar phrases or 8-bar units if you go very quickly. So remember, at some point, if you feel like you're just doing the same thing when you go slow, go ahead and just see what happens if you go fast. How about 1.75. Let's get it back to the beginning. That's a different way of hearing it, isn't it? I didn't quite get it. There we go. And you will too. So, take all the time you need with C minor. The better you know it in C minor, the more solid you'll be starting in a new key. And remember how you do that. There's just these quick links right here. They'll be just as visible on your smartphone as they are here on my laptop. So here we are in E flat. Wow. I'm already learning the tune. I bet you're starting to hear it already. Well, with this tune, because the melody isn't repetitive to the same degree that What Is This Thing Called Love is, I'm thinking that at some point you might want to move over to listening to this melody and roots a little sooner. Let's do that. The melody will help you organize how you're hearing the roots, and the roots will, the melody will help organize how you're hearing the roots and kind of clarify the timing. Likewise, the roots will clarify the timing of how the melody works. But there's more information in the melody, so let's go back and do it slow. Maybe just that much. I think I got it. Notice I'm not trying to play the roots and melody at the same time. That's the last part of this. The fact that you practice the roots, it'll be like you're experiencing them, and they're informing, like, you know, the timing of the melody. I'm explaining all of this. I just do it. Trust the process. The process worked for you with What Is This Thing Called Love, and it's going to work for you here with Black Orpheus. Now, let's talk about pushing ourselves. Let's say, okay, I learned it in these 3 keys. Is it really true that I can find it in any key? Well, check it out. See if, start on some other note. Probably harder to do it with the melody. Maybe just try the roots. If you have the sound in you, you can kind of find those notes by trial and error. Whoops. Oh, just like that. It's trial and error. Don't try to get fancy. The worst thing you can do is be obsessed with guessing right the first time. At some point, you'll just know what it is. While you're on the way to that, just find a note. Nope, it's not that one. Well, it's that one. That's the first one. If I'm in B minor. Maybe the next note. No. Oh! Yeah. Trial and error. It's been working for human beings and all sorts of creatures on this earth since the beginning of life on the planet. All right. So once you're playing Black Orpheus in these three keys, again, you can play this game, or if you have some sort of playback software like I have, this is the Amazing Slow Downer. This program will allow you to play a track at, let's see, what's this? There we go. I have to make sure that all of this is 0 at the bottom. So now I've got it set up so I can play back the audio from these tracks we've been working with. But I mean, you could put some of your favorite tunes in here and just work on them the same way. So let's say we're working on Black Orpheus in the Amazing Slow Downer. Another good program is AnyTune. AnyTune is a phone app. There's a phone app version of the Amazing Slow Downer. So you can play these as fast or as slow as you want, but you can also change the pitch. So here we go. This is the original key. So C minor, the first key on the... Okay, well, let's change the pitch. Now, I could, calculate like what the next key is, but what if I just kind of, why don't I try it here? How about that? Well, let's try another key. Maybe down here. I don't even know what key this is. That was A minor. But I figured that out after the fact. See? Trial and error. That's what it is. I don't have perfect pitch. Notice how I use the melody to help me find the roots. Sometimes you'll use the roots to help you find the melody. The roots cross-check the melody. The melody cross-checks the roots. That's how this works. Well, this is a game I love to play, and the sooner you can get to melody and roots, the more you'll experience this sort of cross-referencing of melody to roots. Let's see. Let's try melody roots right here. Oh, turns out the same key, up an octave. Whoops. That was D minor. Let's see. I don't know. I don't think I've clicked right there. That sounds like a new key. See, I can just find it in any key. But notice, there's some guesswork at the beginning. Guessing is part of the process. You get better at guessing, though, the longer you work on this stuff. So be ready to have your mind blown. Take some time with this. Trust the process. And you'll be playing tunes in all 12 keys. And that will put you in a very unique class of musicians when you're doing that. And all sorts of opportunities will open up. Opportunities to hear the music in a way that you never heard before, an opportunity to interact with other musicians at a level that you didn't know was possible before. And who knows what that would lead to. Something good, I'm sure. Just making great music with people has always had, I mean, there's just the reward of doing it, but then it leads to new opportunities, new musicians to meet, new performance opportunities, new places to visit, new musical adventures to have. There you have it. So it's a lot of work in the beginning, but once you get going, woo, it'll be fun. And sounds like forced fun. Well, it'll be real fun. I'm sure of it. It has been for me. So, not gonna lie, you're gonna love it.